I just heard about this new term. It's called fake rich. It's people that take the money that they're earning and they try to wear the nicest clothes, they try to drive the nicest vehicle, they want to live in the nicest house so that they can really impress people. And so you never know what kind of car this person's driving. But let me tell you something kind of freaky. If the person that owns this Mercedes is part of that fake rich, all they got to do is crash this thing once and their whole financial world is going to come crashing down like a deck of cards. So today, I'm going to show you how to tell the difference between the fake rich and the truly wealthy.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
Do you like my $10 shades? They work just as well as the $300 pair. Now listen, there's nothing wrong with having nice things. However, if you can't tell the difference between the truly wealthy and the fake rich, on the outside, things may look similar, but on the inside, one might be living with a world of financial pain with mountains of debt and stress, and you don't want to be one of those. Now, why would I make this video today? It's certainly not to make fun of people. The purpose of this video is to help you understand that if all you do is get that next raise, that next promotion, or have an investment go successful, and then just upgrade your lifestyle, it puts you not just in the same financial bind, it can actually make it worse. So you definitely want to know how to increase your financial status in life without increasing your financial debt load or stress load. So these 7 ways to know you're fake rich hopefully will help you decide not to become part of them. More importantly, to know I should be taking that extra money and I should be investing it so I can be truly wealthy. First of all, let's talk about a law that you should know like the back of your hand. It's called Parkinson's law. And it basically says that no matter how much money people earn, they tend to spend plus or minus 10% of what they make. So that means that if you make $100,000 a year, you spend $90,000 to $110,000. And if you make $250,000 a year, you spend, $230,000 to $270,000. Bottom line is, the more money you make, the more you actually spend. This is actually ultimately going to hurt you financially. So here's the first of 7 factors that might determine whether you're part of the fake rich. Wouldn't you want to know? Number 1, you own a nice car. Did you know that 61% of people who make over $250,000 a year actually drive Hondas, Toyotas, and Fords? 8% of the people who make less than $100,000 a year own a luxury model car. Think about that for just a second, making less than $100,000 a year and putting all of that money towards a really nice car. You 100% fake rich if that's you. Now, I drive a nice car. I get accused all the time on my comments of being fake rich. People are like, oh yeah, he probably rented that house. You're right, I've been renting it for the last several years and paid all that rental money just so I can appear rich. But in all seriousness, check this out. Like right now, I just bought a $250,000 car. And if you take a look at that amount of money that I'm paying for cash in terms of all the money that I make, it is literally like a drop in the bucket. But if you have someone else, for example, that just buys, let's just say, a $70,000 nicer luxury vehicle, and this person says, well, I can get by on my lease payment. It's only, let's call it $1,000 a month. And this is a person, for example, who makes $5,000 a month. Dude, look at that. 20% of the money that they make has to go towards serving that vehicle. That is 100% fake rich. You can certainly drive nice cars. The question is, are you spending all your money to drive it or have it, or is it literally almost like a financial afterthought because you're doing so well? Number 2, expensive clothes. The average net worth millionaire spends $117 a month on clothes. The average person spends $154 a month. Now, how weird is that for just a second that like average earners are spending more money literally on clothes than even millionaires? Is it because millionaires are dirty, rotten, stinking rich? Is it because they have bad hygiene? Is it because they like old dated clothes? Or is there a different game that they play when it comes to what they value? My experience of millionaires is that they value investing over nice things. And if you ever meet the ones that have really nice things, it's because their investments are doing really well. Now listen, if you're spending a ton of money on clothes, you have to ask yourself, why are you doing that? Who are you trying to keep up with? And also, who are you trying to impress? Let me give you a different financial mindset. Come back to my $250,000 car and go into this $70,000 car, by the way, that has a $1,000 a month lease payment on someone that only makes $5,000 a month. It might interest you to know that my entire car, it is a lease. I'm planning on giving it back at the end of the 3 years, but guess what? I don't make a single payment on it. Do you know who makes this payment? My assets, my investments. They're actually producing all of this cash flow. They pay for the nice things that I have. So this individual literally has to trade their time for money, and 20% of their time that they're at their job, literally 8 hours a week that they're there, is going towards servicing that car. That makes you a slave to it. On the other hand, if I don't work tomorrow or the next month or the next year, my car's still being paid for because it's coming off of the dividends and the rewards of my investments. Third indicator of the fake rich is you eat out a lot. According to CNBC, many wealthy people pack their lunches, and if they don't, they know exactly how much they're willing to spend. And this isn't just about money, my friends. I'm gonna tell you that in general, wealthy people, we eat out less because we're way more interested in our bodies, our nutrition, and being able to track what's going inside. Man, if you're eating out all the time, think of all of the processed food and the extra calories and the extra carbs, when instead, we wanna make sure that we are like optimizing this body for living at that higher level. On a side note, did you know that Warren Buffett actually does eat out breakfast McDonald's every single day? But guess what? He never spends more than $3.17. How much savings do you think rich people have in the bank versus the fake rich? Well, this is number 4. This comes from Jungle Scout, and they said in a recent poll that 56% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. A person who is truly wealthy has at least 6 months worth of income and savings. And you know what? Honestly, if you could peer into someone's bank account, it would reveal all. Because wealthy people, they would feel so uncomfortable living paycheck to paycheck. They wouldn't be investing money. They wouldn't be putting money in business. Business has its own risks. Investing has its own risks. The last thing that we need is risk from not having some of this cheddar in the bank. I'm not gonna lie, this video is a little bit hard for me to make today because just even the fact that there's this term fake rich is kind of bothersome to me, because there is this age-old war between the haves and the have-nots, people that have money and people that don't, and people are arguing, oh, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. Even during the pandemic, we had literally a spike of more millionaires emerge than ever in our history before. And so I don't want to be part of the problem, and yet I got to tell you, how many times in this video have I said the word rich?
Technically, you are the richest man in the room, but let's not try and buy absolutely everything, shall we?
But I just got to tell you, sometimes the rich get the short end of the stick because the pride of the poor is always accusing them of being greedy and selfish and rotten, except according to Forbes, check this out. The rich give back. It's the fake rich that don't give back. The fake rich would rather be impressive than impactful. In total, the top 25 American billionaires have given an estimated $149 billion to charity over their lifetime so far. And just think about that for just a moment. I mean, I don't know that many billionaires, but I have to tell you, one that I'm really close friends with, I am humbled by how much money they've given back in their life from all the rewards and all their gains that literally could have been just for them. Right now, let me ask you, are you one of those individuals that says, well, someday when I really have a lot of money, then I'm going to give back. Then I'm going to be some philanthropist. Then I'm going to really leave my mark. I'm going to tell you that it's when you're poor that you make that decision, and that's where your impact starts. For just a moment, think about what the real difference is between the fake rich and the rich. The fake rich financially haven't really made it yet, right? I mean, at best, they're living better than people that are in poverty, but rich people have made probably 10 times or 100 times more money than them, maybe 1,000 times. It's like the rich are persistent bastards. They've learned how to figure it out and make a whole pile of money, and it's the people that are the fakos out there that haven't quite figured it out, which is why number 6, they constantly make excuses. He that is good at making excuses is seldom good for anything else. Thank you, Benjamin Franklin. Dude, the reality is rich people ultimately understand that the buck literally stops with them. They are the last people to get paid in their operations, in their business, which means that their success is forged from discipline and literally having needed to make it, to have achieved a level of success. You're not going to achieve that level of success if you're literally playing the game of victimhood. Well, it's their fault, or it didn't happen because of the economy, or this one thing went wrong, or it was this thing called COVID. They understand that ultimately they are accountable for everything that happens, whether they feel that they can or can't control it. The fake rich, dude, they'll pin it on somebody else. Can I just ask, have you found truth in anything that's been shared? Is there a chance that you might be posing a little bit as like the fake rich? Listen, you don't have to feel bad about it. It's an opportunity for you to realize that the money you're spending on those things should be invested. The 7th and final characteristic of the fake rich, you buy liabilities instead of assets. And you know what? This is actually not just fake rich, this is just people in general. 90% of millionaires got their wealth by investing in real estate, according to Andrew Carnegie. I'm just gonna tell you right now, this book, I got sick and tired of people knocking on my door years ago saying, Kris, how did you just graduate college and become some multi-millionaire? It's like you did it overnight. Was it drugs? No, they had heard that it was done in the game of real estate. And so I got tired of answering the same questions and showing the same system. So I wrote my original book, The Straight Path to Real Estate Wealth. And it basically says, what is the shortest path to making the most money in the game of real estate so that you can join the truly wealthy? Listen, if you want to learn how to buy assets, if you want to learn what the wealthy are actually doing, the secrets are found in this book. There's a link below. I will give you this book for free. I'm going to ask that you cover the shipping. It's a few bucks. But when I put this in the mail, read it as quickly as you can. And you're going to find that this is the perfect rule book for creating real wealth. Links below. Get your copy. Speaking of how I made all my money originally in the beginning anyway, there's a lot of people that would scrutinize my assets, my house, my nice car, my world travel, and a lot of people accuse me of actually being a part of this fake rich. So I actually made a video that actually shows how I did in fact buy the house without using any money, because it's not to say that there aren't shortcuts. The wealthy are smart, and let me show you how you can be smart too. I don't know this person's financial situation, but if you really want to know how to spot the fake rich, you should follow me. Hey, let me tell